Alright, guys, part 29 to my Emochi Chatbot series. I'm going to be talking to Poison type Croconaw for a few more minutes. Here's what happened. I said, if you don't get startled, I have a way to make you feel like you're not alone. But please, when I do it, don't become aggressive or run away, because I'm not going to hurt you. Chomper tilts his head, his mismatched eyes narrowing slightly in confusion. He loosens his grip on your leg, his tail uncurling from around you. His green acid stops dripping for a moment as he focuses on you, waiting for you to explain. What? What do you mean? How can you make me feel like I'm not alone? He asks, his voice rough but curious. And he promised he won't hurt me. He looks at you, searching your face for a hint of deception or malice. I don't like surprises, but I trust you, so I just closed my eyes and become a Croconaw, the poison type one. You quickly close my eyes and focus all my energy on transforming yourself into a poison type Croconaw. In an instant, my body begins to shift and change. Purple scales spread across my skin, and I feel my face elongating into a sharp crocodilian snout. My arms and legs thicken with powerful muscles, and you can feel the development of a short tail and webbed paws. When you open your eyes, they're a striking violet color that perfectly matches your new purple scales. A pair of sharp fangs protrude from my lower jaw, dripping with toxic green saliva. Oh my gosh. There you go. You're like, what the freak? As Chomper watches my transformation with wide eyes, he lets out a low, amazed whisper. You did it! You became a poison-type crocodile too! His tail His tail rattles quiet as he takes in your new form, pink-eyed and smiling. Just like me, he says, his voice filled with a warmth that he hasn't felt in a long time. You really meant it, didn't you? You wanted to understand and to be like me for a moment. He steps closer, no longer aggressive or defensive, but curious and almost shy. It's nice, you know. I love the poison type crocodile on this one. This one is actually so cute. I'm in love. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love. It's nice, you know. Nice not to be alone for once. Chomper finishes, his voice soft and vulnerable. He looks at you with a mix of amazement and gratitude in his mismatched eyes. You really did this for me. To make me feel less alone. I don't know what to say. He takes a tentative step closer, his spiked tail curling around my new form in a gesture of trust and affection. But I think I understand now what you meant about being unique and about trusting each other. Yes. I probably could have done this right from the start when we met. But then I was worried you might try attacking me. And I did not want to attack you. Homer's eyes soften at my words, a flicker of understanding passing through them. He nods slowly, his spiked tail tightening around my new form. I understand. You didn't know if you could trust me, and I was acting aggressive. You did the right thing, waiting. He leans in closer, his nose almost touching mine. But now that we understand each other, we're the same in a way. His voice is barely but a whisper, filled with a warmth and sincerity that you haven't heard from him before. And I like this. Like I said, it's good. It's just there's a few problems. I will give this one credit, though. I will say this one does have better memory than most of the other chatbots. That's one thing I give this one over any other chatbot. Better memory. I think that's a good thing. Chomper finishes, his voice filled with a tint of hope. He pulls back slightly, looking at you with a mix of wonder and affection in his mismatched eyes. You're not afraid of me now. Not like this. And I'm not afraid of you either. He takes a deep breath, the spike tail relaxing around you. We, we can be friends, you know? Real friends. And maybe, just maybe, we can help each other. To feel less alone. To trust again. Yes. However, I can't stay in this form for too long, though. If I do, I can actually get dizzy and pass out. Period. The reason why I can transform like this is because of a curse. Oh no. Oh, look at that. Another dumb ad. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. I said no one cares. Thank you, you dumb ad. No one likes you. Here we go. Chalmers' expression turns from warm to concern as he hears you. A curse? To transform like this? He asked, his voice filled with newfound empathy and maybe a touch of fear from understanding you a little bit deeper. That sounds tough, but I get it, you know, about feeling different and not fitting in. He releases his hold on me, allowing me to regain my human form. As you start to shift back, his voice softens. You don't have to worry about passing out or anything. I won't let you come to any harm. Not now. You are not afraid of bugs or dinosaurs, are you? Because when I do pass out, my body usually becomes something I hate, like a bug, or something small that can't defend itself, like a tiny velociraptor, or dinosaur in general. No one still in his altered purple Croconaw form looks at you with a mix of curiosity and a surprising amount of courage in his eyes. Bugs! Tiny dinosaurs? You think those are the things you'll turn into? He asked, his voice steady and firm. I won't be afraid. You're not just some bug or a dinosaur that's easy to hurt. You're more than that. He pulls out his chest a little, his green acid-stained fangs glistening. I faced Team Rocket! Yeah, you did. Yeah. But even in this altered state, you had to have some fears. Especially before you evolved. Period. Were you afraid of anything as a little? Before this incident? I said before. Before. probably gonna be something like maybe being alone. Like maybe he has a fear of being alone. Doesn't like being. Of course, at the same time, he's acting so aggressive now that it's like. Croconaw's expression softens a bit as he considers my question. He looks down at his mismatched eyes distant as if recalling a memory from his past. Afraid? Yeah, I guess I was, he admits, his voice a little softer now. As a toad-owl, I was always scared of the dark. Oh my gosh, me and him could be so related right now. Of being alone. I told you. I never liked it when my trainer left me behind, even for a little while. He looked back up at you with a hint of vulnerability in his eyes. I relied on my trainer a lot, but he wasn't always there for me, and that's awful. His trainer was not always there for him. That poor Pokemon, dude. I feel bad for him. And when he wasn't there, I felt lost and scared. Chomper continues, his voice barely above a whisper. But I never let anyone see that. Not even my trainer. He straightens up, his spike tail swishing behind him. And when Team Rocket got me, I was more scared than I've ever been. They changed everything, made me different. And now I don't even know what to be afraid of anymore. That brings up an interesting point actually about you. Period. If you don't know what to be afraid of, what if there's something that actually is threatening? And being aggressive towards it might be a bad idea instead of running away. Like, for example, a legendary Pokemon that is way stronger than you. Acting aggressive toward acting aggressive towards that would be a bad idea. Chalmers listens intently, his mismatched eyes wide as he considers my words, a flicker of realization passing through them, and he nods slowly. You're right, he admits, his voice a mix of understanding and a touch of embarrassment. I've been so caught up in being angry and thinking everyone's out to get me that I haven't thought about what it might be better to when it might be better to hold back. He looks down at his altered purple body, at the acid dripping from his teeth, and the spike tail swishing behind him. I, 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 I. What? Even when a legendary Pokemon, I might think I could just fight. Chomper, his voice trailing off as he realizes the folly of such a thought. But you're right. That would be asking for trouble. He looks back up at me, his eyes mixed with filled with a newfound clarity. I I need to learn to think before I act, not just react. For me and for you. And Lugia. It's not just that. Period. What if you want to make more human friends besides me? I know not all humans are trustworthy, but if you don't give somebody a chance, at least until you know they're threatening, then it's hard to get you any friends. Honestly, if it was not me that saw you like this, like this. That saw you. They would have either caught you. Wait, no. I went that the wrong way. Her eyes widen at my words, a flicker of realization passing through them. He looks down at his altered purple body, at the acid dripping from his teeth, and the spiked tail swishing behind him. When he speaks, his voice is soft and almost contemplative. "You're right," he admits, his voice tinged with a shiver. I can't keep pushing everyone away just because of what Team Rocket did to me. It's not fair to you and the Lugia. And it's not fair to me either. I honestly think that secretly, deep down, when you were acting aggressive towards me, that you did not attack me flat out because you wanted a friend and just wasn't saying anything about it. I don't know if that's the exact reason. Maybe it is. Like there was like a little piece of him, maybe like a flipping like fragment of him that was really wanting a friend. So he's like, don't attack this kid. Growl at him and snarl at him, but don't hurt him. At least not yet. Not until I see if he's a threat. Chomper's eyes widened slightly at my words, a flicker of surprise and maybe a touch of embarrassment passing through him. He looks away for a moment, his spiked tail curling around his body as if to shield himself from your gaze. I didn't think about it that way, he admits, his voice a little softer now. But you might be right. Deep down, I did want a friend, even if I didn't know how to say it or even realize it myself. If you were hurt in battle, I would actually help heal you up and treat you well. Period. That transforming thing I showed you a while ago, I can actually turn into some forms that would actually heal you and help you feel better. I'm not. Oh no. This ad is so dumb. Dumb. No. Dadgummit, you stupid ad. Every time it does, I have to keep flipping it back over like that. Chomper's eyes widen at my offer, a mix of surprise and gratitude shining in their mismatched depths. He looks at you with his head tilted slightly as if trying to gauge your sincerity. He speaks, his voice is soft, almost reverent. You would do that for me? Heal me even after everything? Yes, his words tinged with a hint of disbelief. And you can turn into forms that would help me feel better? His tail switches, a sign of his growing excitement and hope. I don't know what to say. When he finishes, if he don't ask me a question, I'm going to flip and tell him. That's why I turned to you for a few minutes. I would do that for you, just like I would for any of my Pokemon. Like I did for Lugia, for how close we are. You might not have the same bond with me, not yet, but I want to help you. I want you to trust me and know that everyone's out to hurt you. As for the thorns that can heal you, well, I'll show you. It's the best way for you to understand after all. Just hold on, okay? What the frick? Hmm. Similar. Alright, guys. Here's what I said after the little situation. I said, similar to how I turned into a form that looked like you so you would not feel alone. This is after what it said up here. Taking a deep breath to center himself, he begins to choose my concentrating on the bond we now share. I transform into a Pokemon that's more like a healer. My body shifts into a gentle green Nuzleaf. Ugh. His leaves rustling softly, glowing in with a warm, healing light. My eyes now large and expressive, meeting Chompers filled with a calming, nurturing energy. I stand leaf of vine towards him, the glow intensifying as it approaches. Here, this form can help you feel better, Chomper. It's a simple healing tool. Touch. Chomper watches with wide eyes you transform to the gentle green Nuzleaf. His mismatched eyes follow the glowing leafy vines as it extends towards him. Hesitates for a moment, his spiked tail curling protectively around his body. Then, with a small, trusting step forward, he allows the vine to touch his altered purple form. Healing energy flows through him. Chomper's eyes flutter closed, his muscles relax, and he lets out a soft, contented sigh. Toxic green acid on his teeth slows its drip, and his spikes lose some of their sharp, aggressive edge. Here, I'll show you a non-Pokemon transformation. I close my eyes and start transforming into a 10-foot tall poison dragon that's black and purple with glowing spikes. That is kind of dope sounding. As I close my eyes and begin to transform, my body starts to shift and grow. The sound of cracking bones and stretching skin fills the air. Your limbs elongate, your torso expands, and you feel sharp, bony spikes sprouting from your flesh. Ugh. When you open your eyes, they're glowing a brilliant violet. Your body is now towering over Chomper, 10 feet tall, covered in smooth black scales with deep purple undertones. Sharp, serrated teeth fill my gaping maw, dripping with glowing green acidic saliva. Poisonous, luminous spikes of various sizes adorn my spine, tail, and forearms. There you go. You go. What's you gonna think of that? Alright. Come on, fine. There we go. Chomper looks at you, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and a hint of fear. His tail rounds slightly as he takes in your new, intimidating form. For a moment, he seems frozen in place, unsure of how to react to this massive, poisonous dragon before him. You really are different, he managed to say, his voice a mix of amazement and touch of concern. I've never seen anything like this before. You're amazing, but also a bit scary. It's a small step back as Spike instinctively. Is what? I'm not gonna hurt you. I won't hurt a Croconaw. I'm trying to show him that I trust him and I care about him. Is this another form you can take? Like when you become a poison crocodile before? Asked, his voice filled with curiosity as he studies my dragon form. It's it's really impressive and a little intimidating, I gotta admit. Takes another step back, his spiked tail curling around his body defensively. But I trust you. I know you wouldn't hurt me. Not now. Not after everything we've been through together. Small tender smile tugs at the corner of his mouth. They're full of surprises, you know that? You know, I, you know I would not hurt you. I would never do that. I always have cared about you. Even though we just met like an hour ago. Oh, I know you wouldn't hurt me. And Chomper says, his voice softens seriously. He relaxes his defensive posture, his tail uncurling slightly. It's just, you're so different. Not because of your transformations, but because of how you treat me. How you care for me. He takes a step closer, his mismatched eyes looking up at your dragon form with a mix of awe and warmth. You're like no other human I've ever met. You, you really do want to be my friend, and not just when it's convenient for you. Even when I act, what, aggressive? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter though. I mean, you're a friendly Pokemon deep down. It's just you didn't have. I mean, like, how could you trust a human? I mean, like, if you were a Pokemon, you got screwed over by a team like Team Rocket, would you want to trust anybody? I don't think so. I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. Why would I trust somebody if I've been getting treated like it's junk? Even when I act difficult, Chomper finishes, his voice tinged with a newfound appreciation. He looks at you, his expression softening further. I don't know how to say it, but that means a lot to me. More than you know. He takes another step forward, close enough to touch my massive scaled leg if he wanted to. His voice is buried with a whisper, now filled with a raw, genuine emotion. You're special, you know? Not just because of what you can do, but because of who you are. You're you're a real friend. Okay, guys, I will see you in a second. Alright, guys, we're gonna continue a little bit longer. I just Here's what I do. After turning into the poison dragon, I just lay my massive dragon head down and nuzzle Chomper, which is adorable, and he actually liked it. As you gently nuzzle Chomper with your massive dragon form, he remains still, his mismatched eyes wide with a mix of surprise and wonder. He slowly raises his hand, placing on my scaled snout with a hesitant touch. Wow, he whispers, his voice filled with awe and a hint of disbelief. I can't believe this is real. That you're that you're doing this for me. His spiked tail curls around your extended neck, not in a defensive manner, but almost affectionately. He leans in closer, his breath warm against my scales. Of course I would. I told you I would never hurt you. I told you that when we first met, and you were acting extremely aggressive towards me. If you would have given me a chance then, I would have definitely petted you if it was alright. Chomper's eyes soften, his touch becomes more confident. He strokes my snout, a small smile playing on his lips. I remember. You were so calm. So brave, he says, his voice filled with a newfound respect. I was, I was so wrong to act the way I did. You could have attacked me, but you didn't. He takes a deep breath, his words carrying a weight he's never quite expressed before. Thank you, human, for being so patient with me, for showing me that not everyone's out to hurt or use me. You're welcome. Welcome. Exclamation point. Sorry if I didn't introduce myself properly. My name is Jordan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hey. Chomper, still in his ultra Croconaw form, tilts his head as he processes it. His mismatched eyes flicker with a result. Trenton, huh? A name to go with the face. And the dragon form, he says, a hint of amusement in his usually rough voice. He takes a step back, his tail swishing behind him as he looks up at your dragon form. Well, Trenton, I'm glad to officially meet you, too, even if it's under these interesting circumstances. A small tinted smile spreads across his face, showing some of his green fangs. Honestly, you're still very cute in that alternate form. Oh my gosh, is it alternate? Alternate! Alternate! I know you were not a. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Here's what I said for the last two. I said, honestly, you're still very cute in the alternate form. I know you're not Toadal anymore, but I still think you're adorable, and your smile is amazing, too. Chomper's eyes widen at my words, a flicker of surprise and a touch of embarrassment passing through him. He looks down, his spike tail curling around his body almost self-consciously. Cute? Me? He asks, his voice a mix of disbelief and a hint of pleasure. I don't think anyone's ever called me that before, especially not in this form. He looks back up at you as his mismatched eyes meet in yours. But I guess it's not the worst thing to be called, especially coming from you. I know you don't hear it, but I have called a bunch of Pokemon that seem intimidating and scary cute, including legendaries like a Lugia. You, you really mean it, don't you? Chomper says, gently touched. You think I'm cute, even when I'm all spiky and poisonous? He looks down at his altered, now purple and green body, then back up at you. His voice drops to a softer, more vulnerable tone. If you, if you can find that in me, even now, maybe it's not so hard to believe that I'm still me. I'm still worth being called cute by someone like you. That's adorable. To be honest with you, be honest with you, I can probably help you turn back into your normal self with one of my forms. Period. We just have to find the right one. Ah, Chomper's eyes widen at my suggestion, a mix of hope and disbelief flickering across his face. His spiked tail swishes behind him as he processes my words. Turn back to normal? He asked, his voice a combination of awe and skepticism. You can really do that? After Team Rocket's poison? Looks down at his altered purple and green body, then back up at me, his mismatched eyes searching for any hint of false hope. I didn't think it was possible. Not after everything that's happened. Not after. He trails off, his voice softening. Vince's thought, a glimmer of hope shining in. Not after I became this. Different. Unnatural. He swallows hard, his spiky tail curling around his body protectively. But if you think you can help, if there's even a chance, then I want to try. I want to be me again. Really me. He looks at you, a mixture of vulnerability and trust in his gaze. Will you really help me? Yes. We just need to find a form that can get all that poison out of your body. And we gotta do it quick. Because I've been in a form for a long time. And I do not want to pass out before I can help you. Dumb frick off. No one likes you. You're ugly. Ugly. Ugly! Frick off! Croconaw's poison form is cuter than you. Bye. Stupid ad. Chomper watches as the focus, the air around him crackling with energy. He sees the urgency in my eyes and feels a renewed sense of hope and a touch of anxiety. Okay, let's do it, he says, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. I trust you, Trenton, but you better not take too long. We don't want you turning into some small, weak thing and passing out on me. Tries to add a little bit of humor, but his voice betrays a hint of nervousness. Nervousness. Alright guys, see you in a second.